Hey, what's up, everyone? I am super excited to announce Wirebox, a new online Livewire playground. You can develop your components like never before. Let's take a look. So this is your Wirebox dashboard. Here you can see all the different Wireboxes that you've created. And at the right-hand side, you can also find all of the Wireboxes that you've starred, because Wireboxes can be public, and if you like one, you can start one so you can find it easily for later reference. But first, let's take a look at one of these Wireboxes. Let's jump into our to-do list. So as you can see, our Wirebox is currently starting. In the center, we have the code of our Wirebox, in this case, our My To-Do component. And on the left-hand side, we can browse the different files which are associated to this component, like our view, and of course, we also have a routes file where we can define our full page library components. Now we can click around and open different files, but it's also possible to use the command palette. Most of the things you will do to your Wirebox is going to be triggered using the command palette. It's a really convenient way because you simply hit Command or Control K, or in this example, we'll hit Control E or Command E, and this will allow you to switch very quickly between different files. Now, as you can see on the right-hand side, we can interact with our component. So in this case, our to-do list, we can check off new items, and you can see that the count is updated automatically. We can also add a new to-do, hit Enter, and the new to-do will be added to our list. So Wirebox ships with hot reloading for your library components. So if we switch to our view and make a few changes and hit save, you can see that our component is updated while our state is maintained. Now, if you want to disable hot reloading, you can simply use the command palette and disable hot reloading. Now, if we make a new change and hit save, let's say in this case, the state is lost because the browser is reloaded in its entirety. You can also use the command palette to interact with other actions inside your Wirebox. You can edit it, restart it, copy the URL, share it, fork it, etc. By default, Wireboxes are set to private. If you want, you can enable the sharing feature, and then anyone can view the code associated with your Wirebox. Now let's switch back to our dashboard and let's create a new Wirebox. Let's give it a name, and now we can choose the Livewire version and a template. The Livewire version is automatically updated daily. So whenever a new Livewire release is published, you can expect a new version to be available within a day. Now from the template section, you can choose a starting template. So we have simple and our to-do list, and we'll expand this over time. As you can see, our container has started. We have our simple Livewire component up and running. We have our component, our view, and the component is registered inside our route. Now, if you want to add a new component, you can simply click the little plus icon in our file browser. And now we can say whether we want to create a new component, view, model, and let's kick off by creating a new component. We can provide it with a name. We can define whether it's inline or a full page component. If you choose to create a full page component, it will automatically register a new route, so you can quickly access your new component. Now, besides Livewire components, it's also possible to create a new model. So let's create a new model called file, for example. Now, this model will use the sushi driver by Caleb, which allows us to define our database schema and our rows inside the model itself. And this is really convenient because now we can quickly tinker around and make the adjustments based on what we need to get our component up and running. And what's also really cool, the state of this database is now being tracked on a user session. So if you share this Wirebox with someone else, you don't want to, of course, have items removed when you're tinkering with the same component. So every visitor will have his own database instance. Now, if you're stuck or if you simply need help building a component, you can simply ask Jelly. Jelly is an AI-powered assistant which is context-aware of your work environment. So you can ask it, for example, to add a few funny to-dos to our simple component. And while we're here, let's also ask it to update our view and to list out the to-do items. And after a few seconds, we get the response back from Jelly, and it has generated our new component file, and it has updated our blade view. So let's copy and paste the contents of these two files, and let's verify that everything still works and whether Jelly has completed the task at hand. And there you go. We just had our first component generated by artificial intelligence. How neat is that? And it's not great at just creating components, it's also very convenient to help you solve problems. So if you're wondering why something inside your component isn't working, simply ask Jelly and it will take into account the context of your files and will look for the most appropriate solution. So head over to wirebox.app and sign up today. You should get an invite within a few hours to a few days, depending on the amount of users that sign up, just to ensure that the servers don't catch fire and come crashing down on me. Assuming that everything keeps working, I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback and have fun.